Armando, I want to ask you about real estate and trends in real estate and where it might be going, but can you explain infill briefly to us?
Infill, by and large, depends on the city that you're in. So if you're talking about infill here in South Florida, you're talking about areas that have been developed, where you're going in and tearing a property down, as we're doing in downtown Doral. So you're improving an existing property rather than going out to a place that has no infrastructure. I've done both. If you are going to do an industrial park, it is not possible to do an industrial park as an infill, because you're talking about, in the case of the beacons, 200 plus acres. In the case of Beacon Lakes, 400 acres. So obviously you can't do that as an infill. But most everything else that we do, my preference is to do infill. The building that you're interviewing me in, 355, that is my kind of, that's the projects that I prefer to develop. So one thing is to do industrial, another thing is to do an office building, where my preference is not only to do them infill, but to do them in main and main, like Alhambra and Lejeune. If you're talking about residential, infill would be downtown Doral, certainly. Everything that's been developed in Brickell or in the core would be infill development. But my definition of infill would be, the classic would be downtown Doral, where there was an existing office park with 1,200,000 feet of office space, and we are tearing it down to build an infill project that will have a beneficial impact in the peak traffic, because downtown Doral at 8 o'clock in the morning you had 1,200,000 feet of mostly government offices coming to work at 8 o'clock and leaving at 5. So downtown Doral, by balancing the uses, office with residential, with retail, it evens out the traffic. So the peak hour traffic is being reduced. We're doing it in a place that has existing infrastructure and utilizing existing infrastructure. To me, that would be the best example of an infill project.